Just brutal.
Damn it.
Tough one, man. So close to being fun. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Losers Lounge. Presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app and use code DNVR365 when you sign up. Choose your offer and find out whatever the moment's never ordinary at Bet365. How do we do today, Dev, on the bets?
We got a clean sweep on our bets.
We won all of them? We won all the bets. Well, at least there's that to look forward to. We're in the Toyota Losers Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. Nuggets lose a heartbreaker. Trailed the whole game. Grabbed a fourth quarter lead. Kind of a big fourth quarter lead. And then fumbled it in the final 2 minutes.
They're up by 10 points.
An absolutely atrocious close to the game. We're going to break it all down. I got Brennan Vogt in the house.
Man, so close to exactly what the doctor ordered.
So close.
And I think a lot of fun stuff to talk about. But of course, the bottom line is a heartbreaker, fellas, a gut punch.
This is why sports are the best, and also at this moment the worst, is that we really were just like one play away from this being like the vibiest of winners' lounges, but it went the other way. D-Line Co's here.
That's right, guys. There are things to talk about which don't feel good. There are things to talk about that do feel good, but if you are watching this and you are not subscribed to the DNVR Sports YouTube page, you should change that about yourself. We are about 300 away from hitting our goal of 100K. We've been at this since 3 o'clock this afternoon. I've been talking for a very long time, and it would mean a lot to me if you would just hit the subscribe button.
Yeah, do it. We're almost there. 300 people. We can get there. And then over there, Superstar Dev.
Man, that was so close to the vibiest Friday night here at the bar. Oh, we was gonna party. We was gonna
all
party.
Night long.
Oh, we was gonna party.
We still are.
All night long. All night long we were gonna party. Let's do a fast breakdown, shall we? Real good energy to start the game from both teams. This really is a good rivalry, man. It really is a good rivalry. Both teams, they bring it in this matchup. Wolves. It was back and forth whole first quarter, and then of course what happens? You start making substitutions. Jokic goes out, and the Wolves took a lead, 33-29 at the end of one, and then in the second quarter, the Denver Nuggets bench gave up a 15-0 run. 15-0. They only scored 2 points in the first half of the game. They only had 2 points total off the bench. Unbelievable. You feel like you're at Groundhog Day. It happens every time. But then the starters came back in, and what do they do every time?
They closed the gap.
They closed the gap almost entirely. Got it back to within one. Hunter Tyson got minutes in this game. We're going to talk about that. Actually played well in his second stint. 64-61 Wolves at the half. Then Aaron Gordon in the third quarter. Back-to-back three-pointers. He was up to 25 at the time. Jamal Murray went back to the locker room because he got a concussion or concussion protocols. They threw Julian Strawther at point guard. The Wolves took a lead. Jokic missed... let's see, what do I have here? Oh, yeah, Jokic in the third quarter, the Nuggets had it where I thought they were going to take the lead and take over. Jokic had some weird moments where he was awful, and then some moments where you're like, man, I thought you were going to really push it over there. And he had one on Gobert, and ISO gets blocked. Then Gobert beat him backdoor for a dunk, and it was like just such a huge swing. MPJ, big three, big swing. Murray out with a concussion. Wolves back up 7. Westbrook into the game. In the third quarter, he was chaos. He was good in the fourth. But in the third quarter, there was like a stretch there where it was like absolute chaos from Russell Westbrook. Malone used his challenge on a Hunter Tyson block charge call. When you saw Hunter in, were you like, I'll bet Malone challenges something that Hunter Tyson does?
I did say that to you guys immediately. That's the Facu Compazzo. Malone can't help himself.
Yeah, I got to do it.
I got to do it for Hunter.
End of the third quarter, it was 91-85 Wolves. It kind of felt like it was going to be over, but the Nuggets showed a lot of resolve in the absence of a Jamal Murray. Michael Porter Jr. 3, Aaron Gordon 3, Gobert elbows Jokic in the face, flagrant foul. Nuggets are right back. There was a bonus with 8 minutes to go. Nuggets took the lead behind some big MPJ buckets, and then a 21-3 Nuggets run. Man, remember the vibe right then? 21-3 Nuggets, culminating with a Christian Braun dunk on Gobert. Somehow they've got a double foul instead of just Gobert. Gobert put him in a headlock. Double foul. I hated that one. Nickiel Alexander-Walker, though, the real story was Nickiel Alexander-Walker hit some clutch shots in the fourth quarter.
That last one was insane.
Absolutely insane. And then Anthony Edwards closed it with a couple key buckets himself. Jokic came up a little bit short in the clutch there. All right, that's the rundown. Let's get into our Red Hawk Roofing big takeaways. Shouts to Red Hawk Roofing, man. They were here in the bar today.
Yes,
they brought
were.
the vibes. They always do.
Their takeaways were great.
My Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway is that is a game that I'm not going to be down for. We was really close to turning things around there. And there was a lot of positives in this game. We got 3 master classes in this game. Things that we've been wanting to see, just positives across the board. Christian Braun continues his stellar play. Aaron Gordon had his best game in a very, very long time. 31 points, 11 rebounds. And has some good defensive plays. And then Michael Porter Jr. finally arrived. So I'm not going to be down the entire time, and I think that that's why that was heartbreaking, because things would have turned around and we would have been feeling so much better. Very much positive about that game.
Yeah, so close, man. And there's positives we're going to talk about. You don't throw everything out, but it is that game that you just felt would have, like, launched, you know? It would have launched you. They have a homestand coming up. That would have felt great to come to.
I hate to be the one to tell you this, Adam. It is going to launch them. They lost that game, but they won. They won. They really did, man. Like, that was... The Nuggets have been so down. They've been... Everybody, the hive mind that is the NBA media is now talking about Calvin Booth, Mike Malone, whether or not the Nuggets window is closed, are they wasting Jokic, all this nonsense. Like 4 games in, people are talking about how we need to trade Michael Porter Jr. It's just like nobody watches any games, and so when they hear somebody in the national media talk about something, they all then glom on and like amplify this story. The Nuggets looked like themselves tonight. They looked competent. They looked like they had purpose. They fought. Russell Westbrook was atrocious in the first half and through the third quarter. He had 0 points through most of the game, but then Jamal Murray goes into concussion protocol, and then Russell Westbrook arrived for the Denver Nuggets. He had an amazing block. He was doing things.
After some horrible minutes, right? But then he did,
absolutely
right?
horrible,
but then he showed up at the end. Yeah.
But the Denver Nuggets like really found something in themselves tonight. They looked like themselves. I mean, you drop games in the NBA. By all rights, they should have won this. They were up by 10 with like 3 minutes left. I generally would be like a lot more discouraged, but like after the first 4 games we've seen from the Nuggets, this feels good. Like this feels like, okay, there's something to build on here. The Nuggets have something that they can pull upon, and they look a lot like their old selves. I mean, you know, you give credit to the Wolves. They hit big shots coming down the stretch, but like, I'm encouraged. You can't tear me down, chat. I don't care.
They're going to try, though. They're going to try.
I don't give a shit. Bring it.
I actually think it's fair to be encouraged, man.
Of course.
Listen, I'm going to do it, and I know a significant portion of the chat will hate it, but I'm just going to do it. They win that game, and I know they did not. They win that game. We're walking away. They're 3-2. That's a lovely road win over a good team. 3 wins in a row. And no, I wouldn't have thought and said that they look like world beaters. But would you go, are these steps in the right direction? Do we need to order the coffins yet? Right?
Right.
I know some people are going, they could be 0-5. I don't know, man. They could be 4-1.
They could, yeah.
I don't think we need to order the coffin. There's a lot to iron out. I think a lot of the complaints and the concerns are fair.
Yeah.
But man, if they win this one, you're thinking, okay, how bad is it really? And I would say that my big takeaway is the 1,000-foot view on this team, I don't think is really that different than it was last year. And the finer points matter. I think there's less margin for error. If the bench is going to be this bad, good Lord, we're in for a long year. But don't the starters look good enough and the bench doesn't? And if Jamal levels up, they've got a chance. And if he doesn't, they don't. And I think the consternation's all fair. I'm not trying to sugarcoat any of that. But I don't know how different the 1,000-foot view is. I think the starters are still really good.
Yeah.
And I don't think the bench has been good for some time. What I wish was that we were sitting here and saying the bench finally changed that dynamic. And they didn't. And I just am not going to hold my breath for it. So I'm not sitting here saying they look like world beaters, but I don't know how different the equation is. The starters look great, and if Murray can rediscover some form, I know that's a big if. They've got a chance, and so I just don't know how different the bigger points are than they have been.
Yeah, I mean, look, for me, on that point, because I like it a lot, it's all about perspective, you know. And I think Nuggets fans, you win the championship, you go 16-4. It was pretty dominant route to the championship, and it was like, all right, is this the Warriors 73 win season? Like now the Nuggets, it's easy, and we get to do this, and that never arrived. And I just don't think that's in the cards for Denver for this Nuggets team. Obviously, it's probably not going to be that ever.
Yeah,
but it's almost like the expectations never reset. And the thing is, the Nuggets, I'm with you. I think they can be great. It's just this year's all going to be process. And when you reset your expectations to that of like, all right, well, are they going to learn along the way? Everything's a little bit more palatable, to be honest with you.
And that's what I mean. And just watching them hoop tonight and be close, all those issues that are real, like you said, more palatable. Like this can be navigated. They can get through this. They're not the favorites to win the title, and they should not be anywhere close.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. The starters are still really good. And it's about figuring out the non-Jokic minutes and the Murray stuff, and I think a lot of that's same old story. So
my Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway, though, is about Jamal Murray. Because in this game, I think part of how Denver came back was that you swap out in the fourth quarter Jamal Murray for Russell Westbrook, who was just going nuts. You had Christian Brown going nuts. You saw an energy that we have not. It was probably the best energy we've seen from the team. The first 5 or 7 minutes of the fourth quarter was probably the best energy we've seen from this team. And to me, it looked like they had kind of come to life. And then you see what they look. So that was the Jamal Murray out. You replace it with something. But then you see the close to this game, and it was the exact opposite story. They desperately needed Jamal, and this is why Jamal is at the heart, to me, of all the storylines. Yes, the bench is big. Yes, these other things are big, but Jamal at his best is both of those things, not one or the other. Tonight, they desperately needed him in the clutch. You see that this team is not special without him.
They need him in
the clutch,
minutes, no matter how bad.
But at the same time, there is something about the energy that is just needed from your leadership that tonight in the first half from him was lacking, and then of course he was out in the second half. So to me, it was almost nice to see a second half that didn't have him, and to see the comeback and the collapse, because it's like, yep, those are the two sides of that coin.
Yup.
It's the story of two tails, though. Like wanting
The story of two tails.
One heads and tails.
Sure. well, let me go first. There's both when it comes to Jamal, and that's the point of building a contender or having a good team. And even to like touch on the ESPN story today is like you having that energy with the young guys, or just you could just put that in as the bench, and then also having a guy that's going to take you home. Jamal was not good in this game, even when he was playing.
Right.
But it would have been great to have him down the stretch because you would have went back to what you know works, and
he would have hit that winner. I know he would have.
And you wouldn't have seen Jokic have to do the unfamiliar. He didn't get a two-man game. He didn't have his, bread and butter.
It was
he
ugly,
didn't
man.
have his, it's peanut butter and jelly. It just, we went away from it, and that's when you go to unfamiliar territory. So we got to see what it looks like when a team fights and then they get to that point. But also you can see when a team really wants their point guard, and that's where Jamal has to be better. That's where he has to be available, and that's when you get to being a contender, when you get to that point. So you get to see both stories.
I was real quick. I was watching John Morant yesterday, man, because I was preparing for the Grizzlies for All-NBA. Talk about a guy that goes all out every second. And it's so like when you see it, you're like, man, I forgot what that's like. When a guy just steps on the court and is in kill mode and never quits. And it's like, it's like Jamal, this is the year that's going to happen. I really think that it has to happen for him if he's going to get there. And it was noticeable. And like I said, the team brought it when he went down, but they also need him.
I know. It's wild because Russell Westbrook fits that bill. He goes all out. It's just he's exquisitely washed when it comes to the offensive side of the ball. You know that if going down on that last play, if Jokic had Jamal, they would have run the two-man game. Jokic wouldn't have come into the lane and then passed out to Christian Brown, of all people. I don't know, though. Like, I really, like, I'm all the way up. Like, I feel very good about where the Nuggets are heading. They, to me, just to reiterate, looked again like the Denver Nuggets. Like, this is a game they probably lose regardless, even at their height last year. Like, you go into Minnesota, this is a tough game. Both teams, this means a lot to both teams.
Yep.
And it was evident. I mean, like, they were fighting, they were jawing. Like, this was not just like a regular season game. This was not just like the fifth game of the season. And I love that. Like, this is like why you love the NBA, for games like this. And it was so encouraging. Like, it's sad. Like, you want to see Jamal out there be part of it. I hope he's all right, man. Like, I don't even know what happened. We were downstairs.
Concussion. They said, or concussion protocol.
What? But like, what do you know? Actually, were you able to identify the play that
Randall hit him with his shoulder pretty hard?
It was like it was. You saw it. It was a good hit. I don't know. There's a part of me that wishes, obviously, the Nuggets got this game. The bigger part of me. The bigger part of me. But at the same time, there is a part of me that goes, I don't think the Nuggets are a juggernaut this year. I think they can become one. And there's a part of me that kind of likes some of these tough losses early. Like I said with Oklahoma City, it was a measuring stick game. There's part of me that kind of likes it because I want to see how this team responds. And that was a game they should have had and they dropped. And I look at it and I go, all right, sit on that one till the next one.
And just to be very clear, it's not good that they lost a close game. Like I thought there were some encouraging aspects of it. I wish we were talking about how that was a win that helped us fall back in love with this team because, man, it almost was.
Almost was, baby. Actually, the bar was popping tonight. The bar was back in love.
That was the point I was going to make, man. Like, there's a lot of very fair hand-wringing over the offseason. And then these guys just start hooping. And, like, this was a competitive game against one of the better teams in the league that felt like a playoff game. That was probably the game of the year so far of the short NBA season. And the Nuggets were in it, man.
Yeah.
So I think all the finer points of consternation are super, super, super fair. But there's like I don't know, there's a sort of bottom line to just watching them play well in that game that reminds you, like, they're not suddenly the worst team in the league.
I know, dude.
The starters have a chance. I think it's fair to be worried, but you can see some of it, man. They played well tonight.
We got to go to break.
It's fair to be worried if you want to live your life that way. If you want to be worried about everything. But, like, the Nuggets, like, we have Jokic.
We have Jokic, man. All right, let's take a break. On the other side, we'll talk about some of the other players, including Christian Braun, who I'm not sure he's had a bad game yet. Knock on wood, man. He is playing some great basketball. We'll talk about him on the other side.
How about Red Hawk Roofing? We just did our Red Hawk Roofing big takeaways. By the way, tonight's watch party in the bar, which was awesome. You could feel
really good party, man.
You could keep people enjoying it. You could really feel people enjoying Nuggets basketball again. This party was sponsored by Red Hawk Roofing. I know people enjoyed some soundboard doubles. We want to shout out Red Hawk Roofing for throwing this party and just for joining the DNVR team. If you're not familiar, they are quality material. They have quality materials, decades of experience, quick response time, Colorado's best estimators and contractors, huge DNVR supporters, free no obligation roof and property inspections, free in-depth photo reports for all inspections, and that stuff matters. Because you can't always see the damage on your roof from the ground. You don't always want to commit to paying for something when you don't know the extent of that damage. Red Hawk Roofing is not here to rip you off. They're here to get up there, check it out for you. No obligation. It's free. Supporting your local teams means also supporting local businesses like Red Hawk Roofing. If you're looking for a new roof over your home or businesses, be sure to check out Red Hawk Roofing at redhawkroofing.com or call 720-771-8921 and tell them that DNVR sent you. Sometimes life gets real bright, messes with your eyes. What do you need? You need sunglasses. Let's get more specific. You need Shady Rays. Get ready for the season ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company offering a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Here's the deal. You can try them. You can not like the way you look. You can return them. That's awesome. I like style, I like flexibility, I like affordability. That's why I like Shady Rays. Exclusively for our listeners, they're giving out their best deal of the season. Head to ShadyRays.com, use code DNVR for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Again, try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people.
Man, all the starters were good tonight, man, outside of Jamal. But Aaron Gordon tonight, 31 points, 11 rebounds, 5 of 7 from three-point line, Dev. The dude played really good tonight.
He looks ready, and he's improved his shooting so well that has opened up other aspects and parts of his game. Like he's not having to rely on the athleticism. He's operating in the offense. It's allowing him to be able to do more back doors and open up, the 3-point shot. And then also he's getting to the free throw line, which they're not wanting to foul him because he's knocking them down. Really, this really was a masterpiece from Aaron Gordon. 11 rebounds in a game that it called for another guy to be able to get down there on the block. With Jokic having so much attention on him and trying to get Gobert off the boards, you get Aaron Gordon, who's now also able to start the break. I just love the fact that Aaron Gordon he's just battling, and he's always been that type of player. He was a little banged up in this one. He was holding his wrist the entire time.
Yeah.
Did not ask to come out. Did not stop attacking. And he's just a player that's always going to give his all. So it was another good performance by him.
Aaron Gordon was incredible, man. Incredible. I'm not saying we should buckle up for this for the rest of the year. He was shooting 40% from 3 coming into the night. I think what did he finish? 5 of 7? But it wasn't just that. I really liked the way he played in general. And I am sorry to exhaust people maybe with the silver linings, but when the Nuggets went out last year and they went out so sad, the non-Jokic guys did not look ready for this matchup at all. So I am encouraged by the fact that Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. came into this game really confident and played really effectively. Like, this is a matchup where they weren't just neutralized. They kind of looked shook by the end of it all. And we were worried that no one else but Jokic could step up in that matchup. So I quite loved watching Aaron Gordon and MPJ play so well. I don't think Gordon's shooting is sustainable to that degree, but I'm not going to sit here and go like, oh, they played that well and they never will again. Like, I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome that Gordon and Porter stepped up in this game, and I think it's some of the stuff that the Nuggets can build on going forward.
Yeah, man. Aaron Gordon played a non-Aaron Gordon game, and he played it like beautifully. Like it's just. This is like why I don't feel even a little bit down. Is that there was just a life to the way that the Nuggets played. Like there was a void that was left by certain players not being able to perform, but then other guys just stepped up and did it in their stead. And like that is like the first step of becoming like a real squad, where you don't just have. There's not just an assigned that you do this, you do this. It's like everybody does everything to make sure that the team can get where they want to go. And there was just such great energy from everybody. AG was, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen him shoot so well.
Yeah, with confidence.
I don't think I'll ever see him shoot so well again. But the point is that like he did at this matchup on this day when the Nuggets needed it. And I don't know, like, how can you not be encouraged by that?
I also thought defensively, like, Randall, 23 points today, but I thought he did a good job on him. Randall was a minus 14. He did a good job in those matchups. He did good in the moments he got switched out. He was, I thought that part of it was good. Christian Braun, to me, is the next guy. 14.7 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 of 11. That guy, I just have so much confidence in. It's so funny. The preseason is the ultimate. Like, we talk about Summer League every year. We're like, oh, my God, someone will look good at Summer League. It must mean something. Preseason, to me, is the ultimate one of this, because he, by far, of the three youngsters, looked the roughest, You get him out here, and it's like, that guy's so solid. Yeah. Does everything right. And even Anthony Edwards tonight got his points, scored. But I thought on Christian Braun, he did a really good job on him.
I agree.
And I feel like Christian's confidence and rhythm is growing with every single game. And knock on wood, I don't think he's had a single bad game yet this season so far.
The best part about this game is he really did start off rocky in this game, where it looked like it could have went another way. And he just took a deep breath and said, okay, I'm going to play harder defense. He couldn't get an entry pass, had an early turnover, couldn't get back in transition. And it was like, okay, let me get it done on the defense, and maybe that'll open up my offense. And also, what stood out in this game, and we got to see it, especially at the end, he's starting to get under people's skin.
Yes.
And we've been wanting that. We've been asking for that, because we've heard all these conversations about, or just basically what he was doing in college, and we just haven't seen it manifest itself, and it's now starting to come out. He's dunking on guys and flexing. He's doing a little bit of trash talking. He's flexing his muscle at times, and I'm a little bit shocked. Not a little. I'm very shocked that Gobert was not kicked out of this game.
How did Gobert turn into Draymond?
I know. Yeah, it is so crazy that he got strangled and then got dunked on and strangled a guy. And then the worst part is, that he just was still in the game. I will say, Christian did antagonize him. He kind of went into him and kind of flexed on him. He went to the side of him. But at the same time, flexing on a guy after you dunk on him is not the same as putting a guy in a chokehold. I can't believe the league's what?
Really, the league showed they did not want to kick Gobert out the game.
Why?
I'm saying he already got, even if you would have said it was both of them got.
I swear to God,
he elbowed Jokic in the face earlier in the game. So
good Lord.
They did not want to take him out of the game, and that came back. But
That's so weird.
But sorry,
That's so weird.
I don't want to make it only about that. Christian Brown is playing well and playing with swagger and playing with confidence, and he fits. He knows what he wants to do. He's finding different ways. It's not just the shot, but he's showing that he can knock down shots too. So, very good Christian Brown game.
You got a Christian Brown thought?
Yeah, he looks great. He looks great. I mean, he's not a shooter. The spacing's a little different, but the reality is the starters' minutes have not been the problem. Christian Brown's minutes have not been the problem. And
game high plus 13 today.
With Christian, much like Porter and Aaron Gordon, I thought those three guys looked like they remember how last season ended, and they didn't want tonight to go that way. Now it did, which sucks. But those three guys, I thought, played in a way of like, hey, I remember losing and I hated it. We know Christian Brown took that loss the hardest. Everyone's told us that. It's a guy who's not used to losing, and tonight I thought he played like a guy who didn't want to lose. Wasn't a perfect performance. The entry passing in the first quarter was a nightmare. That's a skill most modern guards don't have, I would say. But the way he took it to the rack, I think, fearlessly. Like, I know Cat's gone, but just having Gobert down there, last year the Nuggets wanted no part of just taking it into the lane. Right. And I thought Porter did, I thought Gordon did, and I thought in particular Christian Brown did. And I think it almost caught Minnesota by surprise. Like, okay, they're attacking the teeth of this defense now. So I thought Brown played really well, man. And the second time he's done that to Rudy Gobert, by the way.
Did he play well enough to be the UC Health Live Extraordinary Player of the Game? Let's find out together. I actually don't know. Kill did tell me, but I don't remember. It's Aaron Gordon. Oh, yeah, it should be Aaron Gordon. I think that's the right answer. It should be Aaron Gordon. He did earned it.
Last thing I'll say
does that say
it's 31 points?
Yeah, 31 points. Oh, my God. Well. The best part is he looked at me too with the Adam.
Yeah, got you. The last thing I'll say on the Christian Brown dunk, Jokic was all into that.
Yeah, he was.
He's screaming. He's like animated.
He likes Christian, man.
He even watched the scuffle happen because he was celebrating, looking back at the bench. And, that was a 10 of 10 bench performance. And then also I love to see. Man, we'll get to it, but I just love to see people backing their guys. Yeah. People are ready to fight on that play. I just love that.
He does love Christian, but he also hates Gobert. So it's a little bit of both, you know? A little bit of both.
Yeah. He's like all of us.
He really is. If you want to join UC Health's Ready, Set, Co Challenge, click on the link in the show notes or go to www.uchealth.org/Ready, Set, Co. All right, let's take a break. On the other side, we'll get to Michael Porter Jr. And unfortunately, we'll get to the bench. But also later in the show, in segment 4, we're going to bring on our guy from Alaska, Harlow. I know he has a couple gifts. Super Nuggets fan. He's in town at the DNVR bar for the first time. What? Gifts.
GIFs?
With a T?
I know, I'm kidding.
Standard Credit Union was founded in 1934 right here in Colorado. Right now, they have 9 locations in the Denver metro area. They're all about helping members financially prosper. Education is their thing because they were started by a group of 8 school teachers. So helping others understand this world, it's in their DNA. It's their mission statement. As a member, you see that come through in every interaction. It's all about the local community with these guys. And their smart money checking account is awesome for those who want to make small balance or earn big returns. You can earn up to 6% annual percentage yield on your first $2,000 each month. That's up to $120 a year. Then your next chunk of cash will make you 3% APY and so on. If you like earning money by doing the things you're already doing with your checking account, visit westerocu.com/smartmoney for more details. Membership eligibility required, insured by NCUA. Restrictions and conditions do apply. And as you guys know, I am legally not tall enough to drive, but if I were, I would drive a Toyota.
Oh, hell yeah.
Why? Because I'm a company man. They're the official vehicle of DNVR, but also because they're awesome. They have awesome trucks. That's been a part of Toyota's DNA for generations. They have a lot of SUV options. They know the smooth city rides are also what people are after. In Denver, sometimes you're looking for a nice balance with the mountains not so far away. They even have more low and zero emission vehicles combined than any other automaker to give you, the customer, numerous choices to reduce your carbon footprint. Here's the deal. Visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota Arapahoe in Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of the Denver Nuggets and the official vehicle of DNVR.
And we are back. I sent you did you get the thing I just sent you, Cal? You better pull it up. Apparently, after the game, Jokic put the loss on him. Which, to be honest with you, I kind of feel is appropriate. Like,
not
Jokic
that
was
good in the
good,
clutch, yeah.
but in the clutch, he was rough. Now, was it a tough setup? Of course. No, and his partner wasn't there. He wasn't catching the ball in good spots. But he had a couple tough turnovers. You know, he had a couple tough possessions there. So he says, this defeat is on me.
I love that quote, actually.
I do, too. I like it a lot.
Because a lot of your other guys stepped up, and you know the narrative is, well, what's your patience like? Do you want out of here? And I actually think a lot of the other guys did what they needed to do tonight. And I love Jokic coming out and saying, hey, this one's on me, fellas, lest anyone be confused. Love it.
Michael Porter Jr. Had a couple defensive lapses that always kill me, but hey, it's Mike. But he did have a couple big-time plays, shots, just big plays, big possessions, 26.6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Dev, what'd you see from him tonight?
I'm so pissed that he just didn't continue to hunt his shot. He just kind of wanted to make the right play at the end of the game because he had it going on in this game offensively. And it's this year, especially with the three-point shot not falling, but it's still there, he's finding different ways to score. Like the mid-range is still on point. He's using his length and athleticism. He's finishing around the basket. But I want him to hunt that three-point shot just a tad bit more, especially with the push of saying that there's not, spacing with the shooting. But there was a few shots that I think that he would have knocked down if he wanted to do it. But I love the fact that he is still staying in the offense. So I want him to be aggressive, but still play within himself. I feel like this was a game that he didn't get put into a lot of ISO situations as much as I thought he would, which is great because we have seen some rough Michael Porter Jr. defensive games. This is a game that I feel like he looks at it and says, yeah, I played well, and I'm going to start scoring more, and maybe he is a bit more aggressive.
Yeah.
The thing to remember with Porter is that his final 3 games of this series were so bad last year. He put the loss on himself, and I think of all things, it's that he looked afraid.
Yeah.
In Game 7, he looked afraid. Tonight, Michael Porter Jr. did not look afraid. I loved the first quarter approach, attacking the defense. He looked like a guy who was, if we were going to say anything about Porter tonight, he wasn't going to let us say that he was passive, that he retreated, that he wasn't ready for it. I loved the way he attacked that defense, that he just said, oh, it's my turn. Like, Jokic needs someone to come off this DHO and hit a shot. I'm doing it. He looked really, really comfortable offensively, 6 rebounds, 4 assists too. I just thought he played really hard. As someone in the chat pointed out, the non-3 turnover instant steal 3.
Yeah.
Mike is the best, weirdest player that's ever existed.
That was the most Mike play possession ever.
No one's ever been better at basketball while not being good at basketball. Like, honestly,
he has the most unbalanced
it's
game.
Unbelievable. He's like the least normal player ever. But you know what? 26, 6, and 4 tonight on 11 of 18 shooting. No, he was really good tonight. And he was in a matchup where he wasn't when it mattered most. So to me, him being aggressive and confident in this matchup went a long way for me.
I love what he just said, D-Line, about, he wasn't good in the playoffs last year, and you could tell that this game, I think he was like, I got to play good against that team, because Mike is, we say what you want about Mike, he loves basketball, he loves competing at it, he loves being good at it, and I wish all of the players had that fire inside of like, F these guys, and I think a lot of them do, but Mike definitely does.
This felt like the first step towards Mike's arrival this season. Like, this was like the first game. I mean, it was most assuredly not a perfect game, but it was definitely a game where you look at it, you're like, okay, come on now. Like, my man can hit some threes. He can play. He's not getting cooked defensively every time. He's actually like being able to cover up Jaden McDaniels. He's like finding himself in the right place. Like, this is another reason why I'm like, all right, like, there's stuff to build off of here. Like, I'm seeing confidence build in guys where you were seeing it fall early. Mike is a prime example of that. And just watching his 3 go, like, him hitting threes, I mean, I think he was 3 or 7. Yep. Not enormous, but that, like, it felt huge because of, like, where we were in the previous 4 games coming. And, like, Brendan Vogt over there, John Voigt's son.
I got that a lot earlier. My dad's name is John, by the way.
Yeah, I know that. It's come on. We know about each other's dads on this show. It just felt good though, right? It just felt good. I like what I saw out of Mike.
Yeah. Now we got to take it down a notch here and talk about this bench.
Why?
Man.
Why do we got to do it?
Well, we got to do it.
Are we contractually obligated?
We have talked about Westbrook already. I don't even
Judas.
know if there's a ton of notes on Julian Strawther. Defensively, he just struggles. He fouls a lot. He gets to keep his guy in front of him. But whatever, he's kind of a quiet non-story more than a story.
Yeah.
The story to me is Peyton Watson, Dario Saric, and then Hunter Tyson playing tonight. That's it. But did you have a Strawther note, Deb? You wanted to interrupt?
He's a shooter and he never makes shots. And those are two good looks that really could have took the roof off. Like the energy was on Denver's side. There was momentum, and he just never takes the roof off with those shots that are so timely. And that's what you're supposed to do, like impact the game with your shot.
So true. No, that's a great point. You're right. I glossed over it, but you're right. He is out there to make shots. He had 2 A+ opportunities. Any one of them would have been great. And he went over. But nonetheless, at least there, and defensively, he obviously struggles. Like right now, it's so funny how in preseason he looked awesome.
I know.
And you get him out here, and you're like, man, it's a different game.
But he didn't have like 5 fouls in 3 minutes like he has in other games. Like this is like another. I mean, he did
5 fouls in 16 minutes,
but which is an improvement. It's sadly an improvement.
It is. But to me, as much as Strawther, there is some criticism there. You know, I look at Dario Saric, first of all, another 5 minutes. Michael Malone has to make a decision there.
He has.
Is there something? Well, I'm saying the decision is either that he's got to change how the team plays to help him out, or make the change. I don't know why a guy like a Zeke Naji can't get it. Vlatko Čančar was out. Zeke Naji not getting a shot. It just is so weird to me. I'm telling you, because I watch, for all NBA, I watch every team play. Every team is going 13 deep into their rotation right now, night to night, just trying out different combos. Denver's the only one that tonight we tried Hunter Tyson, which is nice because at least it's one step in a new direction. But I look at that and I go, the Warriors are playing 13, 14 guys. Real minutes.
I didn't think I would ever be asking for Zeke Naji minutes.
Dude, if not for the tarot cards.
Minus
so
11
crazy.
in 5 minutes, though, is like, you can't be worse than that. The whole bench was not bad other than that 5-minute stretch that he was on the court with them. He just doesn't fit.
There's been multiple games in a row now that he has been unplayable, and now we're starting to really see it unravel. And maybe this was the last straw for now. He's getting less and less minutes every single time. Like I feel like they're trying to give him opportunities. It goes so bad for him. Offensively and defensively. He has not had any impact on offense. When he's in, they're hemorrhaging points the entire time. So now maybe you do have to go with a Zeke Naji and give that a look. Maybe this is the last time we see that for now.
Everyone told us Saric was washed, had a rough back end of the year with the Warriors, and I think, I won't speak for you guys, my response was, I get it. How much worse can he be than what they've had?
Well, first of all, he wasn't this, though. He wasn't this.
Well, but that's kind of my point. That's what I'm saying. Is like, I know he didn't have a good year, but how much worse could he have been than the Nuggets options at the time? And the answer somehow is considerably worse. This might be the worst one we've seen yet. I've prepared myself for every guy who looks kind of playable elsewhere to sort of be the worst version of themselves off Denver's bench. But, Saric looks like he doesn't know how to hold a basketball, man.
But here's the thing. Hold on a second. Per 36 minutes over his last 4 seasons, 16 points, 15 points, 19 points, 17 points. This year, 4.6. You look at rebounds, 9, 9.5, 8.5, 9.5. This year, 5.5. You look at assists, 3.5, 4, 2.5, 5.9. Like, I know it's only a handful of games, but I'm looking at it going, he didn't fall off a cliff in 1 year. He's 29. He's not like he's fell off a cliff.
I think he's just the latest guy to look like the worst version of himself in the non-Jokic minutes.
I just think that part of this is probably a little more important than what people are giving credit for. The fact that there is an assembly line of backup centers that seem to go elsewhere and flourish, and every time a guy comes in here, it's like the absolute worst.
Yep,
not just, he's having a struggle, he's not making shots. It's like, no, he can't do anything. Every aspect of his game looks like he is like on ice or something. And it's like, there's no way he's the 5th straight guy to come through Denver and all of a sudden forget how to play basketball.
I know. What? Do you have a theory?
It has to be fit. Like just how those backup centers are used. Which is perplexing because like you have to be confused. They all have the same type of feel as Jokic, a backup center that can pass the ball, that can get others involved. he's just godly in the way that he does it. But at least the idea, you can see what they're thinking when they get a Saric, who's a good passer who also can operate the offense. You could see it in Mason Plumlee. You could see it in a Jay Huff. You could see it in different ways. DeMarcus Cousins. It just doesn't manifest itself. It doesn't work because all of the other pieces when it comes to the bench. The way that the starters are put together, they don't do the same thing for the bench. It's not the same as playing against alongside Jamal or Michael Porter Jr. when you have a Russell Westbrook and a Julian Strawther that's not hitting shots. And I think it's more about fit. And it makes him look bad that now he's all down on himself as well.
And he's a bad fit with Russ. But also the truth is most teams that are as good as Denver is at the top end can just put a guy out there that lifts a unit. And whether it's Porter or Mike, Denver can't. They just can't.
That's the biggest part of this. I think that's actually part of it. Is a lot of teams, you're not asked to we need a system of guys. Somebody carries it and you just do one or two things.
And that's why I always understood Malone's logic. Yeah, Murray's our second best player. He should be his job. It's just we have a mountain of evidence now that suggests it doesn't work that way. And Mike helps the spacing with that unit, but he's not a razor. Yeah. So I do think the margin for error seems thinner right now than it has been in years past for this reason.
But I also look at it and I go, Zeke Naji has obviously been broken on this team, but at this point, it just can't be worse than whatever Saric is giving you. And I don't understand why Saric is as bad as he is. Even if you think he's a bad player, there's no player in the NBA this bad. He's like a minus 1,000 on the season already.
Atrocious. Atrocious. It is perplexing how every center is a bad fit. Like, how can they all be a bad fit? The crazy thing is they're different style.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, like Dario is a stretch 4-5.
Yeah.
Jay Huff, just a big guy. Who else have we had? I don't even remember. JaVale McGee didn't even play.
Trade for him, and then they just keep playing. Thomas Bryant is another perfect example. Remember how much everybody hated him? He was good in the Lakers.
He was going crazy.
He was going crazy there.
Remember, he had the best finishing percentage in the NBA, never made a basket.
This is why part of me, I don't think that's any one thing, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm trying to set the table for any one thing, but when you see how bad the bench is playing, you go, it doesn't matter. They're NBA players, and NBA players aren't usually this incompetent, and they just seem to always be.
Yeah.
So there's something there. I will say with Peyton Watson, though, he's the guy to me that I look at and I go, this is such a big year for Peyton Watson, and I don't get the sense that he feels the same way
at all.
But it's also he makes some big time plays. He does some stuff. The shot, he's not shooting the ball with confidence right now. He got a couple looks. Who was it that came out and said he wants to see him start getting to the line? Was it Michael Malone? I think after the last game, it was like, if you're missing one or two, try to get to the line. He's the guy that he has, it's almost like the grace period is probably up for you missed the preseason. Fair or not, the Nuggets just need him. He's the one guy that I look at that I have that I have confidence in that can be a major impact player. And I get that they're not setting the table for him. They're not making life easy on him. But it's find a way to contribute in whatever way you can, and I hope he does.
He has to. Peyton Watson is a guy that we all have bought in heavy on. We really have all felt at certain points, this is another. This is the next player that Denver has been able to draft and cultivate and bring up, and we all have felt like Calvin Booth found a guy early on, and he really looked every bit of that last year. And this year, it's still early. Obviously, he didn't play in the preseason. He really this is his third or fourth game that he's played, but he looks lost out there. He doesn't know what he's supposed to be doing. There's something about, that bench in general, it's just so muddy. No one knows what they're supposed to be doing ever. Russell Westbrook just charges into the lane. There's four guys there. He doesn't have a plan. He jumps up into the air,
and I will
throws it out.
Defensively, I do think Peyton's playing hard. He's flying around. He's doing a lot of that stuff, but
there's just confusion, though.
But that unit not scoring in the first half, other than, I think, was it Strawther had 2 points or Westbrook had 2 points? I don't remember which one it was, but either way, it's it just can't happen. Somebody's got to find a way to contribute there.
And he looks like he's never played with those guys, which, to be fair, at one point he hadn't.
Yeah, he never had.
I think Peyton's also pressing a little bit, and I think it's a misunderstanding of a message. And Malone, I think, has encouraged him to play so hard that we feel him. But I think the first way that manifested was you should never finish a game with 0 rebounds. And tonight Peyton had 1.
Yeah.
It's actually not go make a play on offense.
Yeah,
it's
you're
actually
right.
not
It's that
go
stuff. You're right.
cut so hard when no one asked you to. It's go get the rebound, right? So, and I think right now he's pressing. He's misunderstanding what it means when Malone says go make a play. I think he thinks, oh, I got to cut and dunk this. But that's not necessarily, I think, what's being asked.
Yeah, the thing with Peyton is it's just all flashes.
Yeah.
He shows flashes of like what they want him to be and who he could be. And then he goes against it. He's like just fighting who he truly is. And a lot of times that's when the negative plays like comes out. That's when you see him standing in the corner. If he finished the shots that he actually took, he would be an incredible player. He gets a steal, or he's always on the break in transition. It just doesn't make a layup, or he doesn't go and finish, at the rim. And I think a lot of it is we say that he hasn't played, and so I can't wait till that time frame is over, so I could just.
But I think it's over. I mean, Denver has a 5-game homestand coming up right now. This is the time to get right. This is the time you should be at home. You should be rested. You should be healthy. This is a really good time for Denver to stabilize. And I almost feel like this first, we always break into little segments. I feel like a segment ended, even though it's a back-to-back. A little segment ended. You were home. You went on the road. You come back. You should be in shape now.
Yep.
You should be rested. You should be focused, and the team should start to be cultivating an identity.
Luckily, their starting point guard is said to miss some time.
Well, that'll make things a little bit tough. But the bench here, I'll tell you what. If Michael Malone is only going to play Dario Saric 5 minutes, give Zeke those 5 minutes. What damage could Zeke do in 5 minutes?
Truly.
It was minus 11. That's what are you going to
I cannot believe the performances that Dario Saric has turned into this point. It is staggering. Like I
Would you be more or less surprised if Zeke Nnaji got traded and Jay Huff, or that he had like a Jay Huff sort of like rise? Would you be more surprised than you are for Jay Huff? Not me. Jay Huff is a two-way player.
I know.
And he's doing it. So part of me goes, I mean, I'm not trying to go too hard on it, but part of me goes, I don't know, man. It's just weird that it's everyone. And it's weird that we got new guys in, and they're also somehow becoming the worst. Let's take a break. On the other side, we're going to bring in our guy, Harlow, from Alaska.
Man, what's it take to wash away the taste of that heartbreaking loss? A delicious light beer, and by a delicious light beer, I mean the delicious light beer, the first one, the best one. It's called Miller Lite, and I think it's always Miller time if you got the Nuggets on and you've got a Miller in your hand. The pitch for Miller Lite's pretty simple. It's a beer that tastes like a beer, but it doesn't feel like you're drinking a beer. Man, those things are bloating. They are a lot of calories. Not the case with Miller Lite. Less filling, more of the stuff you want, less of the stuff you don't. Only 96 calories per 12 ounces. Again, the original light beer since 1975. Times change, but you can always enjoy the great taste of Miller Lite. Tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/DNVR. Or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces. And it's never ordinary at Bet365, and they have an unordinary, we could even call it an extraordinary offer for you right now. Bet365 is now an official partner of the Denver Nuggets and the Colorado Avalanche. They're giving customers in Colorado 2 months of Altitude Plus on them when you sign up. That is a very, very coveted access there that they're giving you. Watch all of your favorite Nuggets while having some skin in the game. Bet on your favorite Nuggets if you feel so inclined with Bet365, where again, it's never ordinary. Take advantage of this awesome offer right now. Again, new customers now get $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5 and 2 months of Altitude Plus. Sign up using the code DNVR365, deposit $10 and place a bet of $5 or more to get 200 in bonus bets. And again, a code to the first 2 months of Altitude Plus, courtesy of Bet365.
All right, back here on the last segment of the DNVR Nuggets podcast. So one of the cool things about our job is we get to meet a bunch of people from all over. Like, just that's the cool part of our job, when all the people that join our community. And we get messages all the time. You get messages all the time from different people. Sometimes they're so negative and people just emotion dump on you, blah, 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 blah. But my guy here, Harlow, been a huge fan of the Nuggets and obviously of our work at Denver Stiffs prior to here, but here followed us over. So you go back really, really far. always bringing the positive energy to me. You know, I get these DMs, I check my DMs, and there's people just like, blah, 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 blah. Then I see Harlow, and I'm like, oh, this is going to pick me up, man.
Dude, man, I mean, I'm an optimist.
You really are.
I really am. Like, why not?
Yeah.
You only live once.
Yeah.
And you better believe, you know, so, yeah, no, I mean, I think you become a philosophical. I mean, losing sucks. And I came into the DNVR bar tonight for the first time, and it was such an honor and treat to be here finally. And the second I walked through that door, I just saw superstar Dev after a 21-3 run. I was like, man, you know, the whole saying, the vibes are immaculate.
Yeah.
It was happening. And I totally effed it up.
Wait, what did you do?
I walked out the door to go get you guys your presents that I brought from Alaska.
It could have waited.
I came back and I'm like, what the? I know it's a family show. What the F? They were up by, I think, was it 12, 10?
Yeah, it was a lot.
10. Let's not even think about it. But, I mean, the bottom line, we get just focused on one game.
Yeah.
There's 82, and I really, Dev, you said it earlier. I mean, I think there's a lot of positives tonight.
Yeah.
And you know what? That moment, you guys didn't really hit on it too much, but when Christian Braun dunked on Rudy Gobert, that was a man's dunk.
It really was.
I mean, I haven't seen NBA's top 10 plays of the night, but
it's got to be.
I mean, he went up and then he went up again, and then he just cocked back. And you're right. Rudy Gobert should have been kicked out.
Yeah.
Like, he grabbed him around the neck.
Can't believe
And
they
that was
left
the
him in,
second. He already had a flagrant that night, and I mean, I'm just a fan.
Yeah. How was that experience being in the bar, like being here when he dunked on him?
Yeah. I mean, it's great because I like you said, Adam. I live in Alaska, so there's like 7 Nuggets fans up there. So anytime you get around people that are like-minded and you feel that energy, it just I was pumping my fists, and this guy I met next to me, we were best friends after that. We were high-fiving. I'm like, I don't know.
That's
but
awesome,
you know
man.
what? I mean, I like I said, I am an optimist.
Yeah.
But I see some good things. I'm concerned about Dario. Just looks.
It looks rough.
Poor guy, man. I'm rooting for him, but he looks a little washed.
How can it be though? He's 29.
I know.
Years old.
I don't get it. I want to give him a little more time, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. You guys are the experts, but
I don't know about that.
I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
We need him. If not him. I mean, and I keep thinking about Rashawn Holmes. Obviously, should, could have, would have, but he would have been nice to see out there.
So he's somebody else's Dario Saric at the moment. So you have some stuff here from Alaska, man. What do you got?
So I got Alaskan things.
Okay.
I don't know if you can. Yeah, I guess you can see it there.
Okay. What is that? I'm a little
this
afraid
is
of what I'm...
smoked salmon.
Okay.
Canned Alaskan smoked salmon.
Did you make this?
Yes. Well, I mean,
you like canned it?
Full credit to my wife.
Yeah.
The best part
I
about-
caught the salmon or helped catch it. And, but we've got a couple. I brought a couple.
Caught this yourself.
Yeah. So Alaska, you may or may not know, is kind of the, it's the center of the salmon run.
Yeah, sure.
And it's a delicacy. If you went to a restaurant,
If we opened this up right now, the entire bar would smell like salmon, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Maybe we would
That's not
hold
a
out on
bad
that.
thing.
Maybe we hit this one tomorrow.
Dude, I love when our guests come and bring us gifts because they all turn themselves into a stereotype.
Yeah.
Flo showed up with cheese
Yeah.
from
of course.
France.
Wisconsin.
And you showed up with
Salmon.
salmon from
Yeah.
Alaska.
Well,
so.
I mean that's red salmon.
Yeah.
Kenai River red, and I would say, Adam, you guys break it out sometime.
Okay.
When you just put it on a plate.
What do you eat it with? Just like this? You
Cheese
just
and
kinda,
crackers.
Cheese and crackers and a salmon?
Yeah, it doesn't get any better.
I believe you.
Let's do it.
And,
I can't wait. Okay.
And I also brought some blueberry mojitos.
That sounds delicious.
I'm from a small town, Talkeetna, Alaska. and this is a little brewery there.
Okay.
So I would say,
It's a cocktail, though. That's a
it's
cocktail.
cocktail. Yeah, I would say mix it with a tonic or a seltzer.
Okay.
So
nice, man. I like it. Is that more
taste of
salmon
Alaska,
over there?
Yeah.
So we got
more salmon.
Okay, awesome, man.
But really, this is the big
Look at this
gift,
thing, man.
just because I don't know if you can see that on the screen, but I put together kind of an all-timer Nugget
You
poster.
made this?
Yeah, I made it.
Dude,
I mean,
this is awesome.
Yeah,
there's a lot of cool
Very,
things
very
you can
cool.
do online nowadays.
This is an original.
That's original.
An
Yeah,
original
that's
Harley
one of
Robinson.
one of like 5, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it,
So
man.
I mean, I've been a Nuggets fan since
Wilson Chandler's
I was
on
born
here.
in Colorado, Fort Collins,
Yeah.
but I moved to Alaska as a baby. But all my family's down here, so as a young kid, I'd come down and hang out and watch Nuggets games with my grandpa.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Man.
So the first game or the first season that I started watching the Nuggets was when the year David Thompson scored 73 points in a game.
Oh, wow.
I've been a fan ever since. So that was like 78. So
I thought you were much younger. That's incredible. I love
Yeah.
that you have like Eduardo Nahara on here. You have
Yeah.
Monte Morris. There's like some randoms, you know? But it's your thing.
so there's like I can't remember how many slots, 50 I think.
Yeah.
And
Look at that, man. That's
it got
cool.
down to the point where it's.
That is money.
You mentioned Eduardo Nahara. That was just kind of my. He's kind of my Denver stiff guy, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
It looks
I-
like there's a coach on there.
There's a couple actually.
you got
You've got
coaches.
Larry Brown. You've got Doug Moe. You've got George Karl. No Michael Malone though. He
No,
didn't make the cut.
he's on there, of course.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, look at him up second row.
Oh, there he is up there. Yeah.
Yeah, looking.
Yeah. You got to get him
perplexed.
on there. There you go, man. This is super
So
awesome. We
anyways,
got to find
that's
a
just
great
a little
spot for
leave
this.
behind for you guys.
We got to
and-
find it. Maybe this will go up in our new studio we're building right across the hallway here. Kale, well, that was awesome stuff, man. I appreciate
Thanks,
this very
Adam, man.
much. These are really thoughtful things, man.
Really
It's
Yeah,
really
I
cool.
mean, really, I just want to say thanks to you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm not as far away as Miroslav is.
Sure.
But I mean, you guys.
kinda.
It's a ways, but it's you guys have done a great job of building community, and
That's cool.
for us people that we live and die by the Nuggets, but we're not right here in Denver. You guys really bring it close to us, and so I know I'm speaking for a lot of other people, and
Yeah.
just have a lot of appreciation. So thanks.
I appreciate. I told
Thank
you, man.
you,
You're
man.
my
We
guy.
appreciate
I
that.
appreciate you, man.
Harlow,
very
I'm
much.
sorry I never answer your emails. It's not personal. I just I don't check them.
Yeah, all right. Right, go ahead and run down. Let's get some of our super chat, shall we? Let's see if the people are as generous and happy as Harlow.
I'm
here.
going to say no.
By the way, I'm
Rational-
not happy right now, man.
This is angry, Harlow?
That was a tough loss.
That was a very tough loss.
Yeah.
No one needs to be told otherwise, truthfully. When you play nonchalant, contact might catch you off guard and you get hurt. Disappointing. Well done to everyone else for playing their asses off.
There you go.
Maximo, the Portuguese dude. I believe he's also our Wolves fan, right?
I don't know.
Welcome to the new season, gentlemen. Doesn't officially start till my team plays your team. Only 5 games and love the intensity. Holy shit, Christian Braun is a beast. Y'all are lucky to have him.
There you go. A good fan there. And now our Warriors fan.
And now we go to our resident Warriors fan, William
Warriors are
Mitchell. Most, if not all, of the Nuggets' problems can be summarized by these 2 things. 1, spacing, and 2, the fucking 2 timelines plan. Warriors fans are sensitive about
Warriors
that one.
fans are very sensitive about it. Yeah.
Jay, dragged friends to the bar tonight and made them subscribe. Wolves fans in the bar.
Hell yeah.
Gross. Oh, I didn't know that. All the Nuggets are good and cause me anxiety this season. That is fair.
If you come to the bar, you should come and say what's up, or at least
Yeah.
introduce yourselves.
Guys, we're
when you get here.
220 away, man, from getting to our goal. The guys say they're not leaving tonight until they get to the goal. So do us a favor if
Come
you're
on,
not
do us a favor.
subscribe, man.
Subscribe.
Don't keep them here till the wee hours of the morning.
Chris Peters, Sharch needs to be left in Minnesota. Go play ball boy for the Lynx.
All right.
All right. Joe Clem 15. I think Jokic. Well, can we go back one more kill? I think Jokic will now learn that passing up open threes hurts the team, especially with this roster, which has less spacing. Got to take open shots. Liz A5280. Knew we'd lose, but I saw what I was hoping for. Progress. We're so back. No Murray and horrible bench. Wow.
Yeah.
Kind of agree, man. We did see progress tonight.
Yeah.
Kappa XA. We're making a trade for the bench now, right?
Trades aren't going to save you guys. Got to start rooting for your guys to be good. You got to start rooting for your guys to grow. Root for trades in like February, but for now, just you're not going to play this for 3 months, man.
Also, unfortunately, like they could bring Anthony Edwards in to play sixth man, and somehow he would look bad off this bench. So that's just the other thing. Chunk Dickwell's burner.
Oh.
D-line is right. We build off this game. MPJ made shots. AG showed out, and KCB is Rudy's daddy. Speaking of the Frenchman, what do you call a Frenchman wearing sandals? Philippe Flop. I really do like that guy a lot. Kappa's XA, another 40 minutes for our starters. Still encouraged. Fair on both ends. Maximo, the Portuguese dude. Again, I know Nuggets fans are worried, but it's early. Give it some time. Y'all will figure it out. My team is no masterpiece right now, but you don't win the title in November.
So true.
Iron sharpens iron.
Iron sharpens iron.
It is true, man. It is true. Maddox, I can't find the positives, but thanks for the show.
Some people are just down bad, man.
Yeah,
And
no,
you
but
know
that's
what?
a very
You know
honest.
what?
We
Yeah.
really appreciate that.
Be
man.
like my guy Harlow over here, the optimist.
One more from Maximo. Got a feeling we'll be doing this dance with y'all the next couple of years. You may
Yeah.
have lost tonight, but you have the Joker, best player, and best safety blanket in the league. He'll probably go for 40 next game. LOL. Have faith.
There you go.
Yvonne, MBG, 62. If Jokic and Gordon will be our best three-point shooters, we are doomed. NA,
It's kind of true.
yeah, Nickiel Alexander-Walker hitting threes when it matters while Watson is airballing a floater.
That was a tough floater, man. I'm telling you, he has got to get it together.
What did you
It's
do
a big
during
year
the
for him
summer?
as a player. His money is on the line. You know, like he can earn himself some money. He's a good player. I want to see him playing well.
And
The seriousness that needs to, I think, fall on him. A little seriousness.
is Just Jordan 42-69. Anyone else feeling Thuggets vibes these past few games?
No.
Tyler Burkabilly. Yeah, Burkabilly. Starters are still great, and we struggle in the non-Jokic minutes. So what are you telling me, that we are one Bruce Brown away from another title? I'll take it. Keep up the amazing work, you guys.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Peter Duck, I'm sick of the Wolves, not going to lie. I'm kind of over Ant.
Yeah. Hey, man, they're doing a good job of being the foe.
They are annoying because they play so hard. Play Zeke for the love of God. Zeke and Russ would probably work better.
Oh, I'm on our guy 555-ish, too, counting him down. Oh, no.
Zeke 5-5-5-5-5-ish. Zeke minutes still frozen in time. I'll be in the madhouse by Christmas at this rate. What are the odds we see Trey Alexander tomorrow?
We're not even seeing Zeke.
Zeke's got to play, man. What can Bolo... I mean, Zeke's got to play.
Celio 290. Nuggets getting better. Annoyed, but encouraged. Vogt's dad is John Vogt, the dentist? Seinfeld. Is that a Seinfeld joke? Gobert should have been tossed. Loss on Eric. 0-3 in pods. But we will finish with a winning record onto Utah.
Did Eric miss the 2 winners lounges? Is that what happened? Oh, jeez. He was the highest on the Nuggets, too, coming into the season.
Joshua Sanchez. KCB has had a solid start to the season and was
Yes, he
great
has.
tonight. Hurts they couldn't close this one out. At least they looked competitive. Sigh.
Guys, I'm telling you, readjust your expectations. They're building. They're not built. They're building.
It's not this bad, you know?
I know, it really isn't this bad. It isn't.
Tonight was a step in the right direction. Cedric Exquisite. Hope Maul is okay. BB would be clutch for these games.
He really would be. I hope Jamal is
I
okay,
can't
man.
see this name. Maliniv. Hey, fellas, did you see Ant and Rudy talking about how Jokic knew the play before they ran it and how they'd never even ran it before? Nope, but that sounds awesome.
I bet you that. No, but I bet you that interview is incredible. Ant's probably like, this mother effer already knew what we was running. He probably was like trash talking and everything.
We never ran it before. That actually is.
I can see that,
That's
yeah.
actually the greatest thing ever.
Bubbles buzzer beater. Our bench unit. McCray, and McCray.
Oh, man.
Super chat from AD. Minnesota have Nuggets number like Nuggets have Lakers number.
I
Lakers
mean,
number.
7-game series. This one went down to 3. I don't know. I don't know if that's true.
Nuggets did win one of those 2 series, and then they won a title.
Yeah.
Lance Wilson. Why is Fultz not an option for Denver?
Well, because they have a full roster.
Because they signed Russell Westbrook.
He's also not an option anywhere. No one's picked him up.
Yeah.
Drunk philosophy. This is how much the Nuggets offense is worth end of game. Let's not score. Let's waste time and then chuck and choke. This is on Malone.
I mean, I don't think Malone had a good end of the game.
I agree.
To be honest with you, but at the same time, man, it was kind of chaos. But maybe he could have done a better job. I think he
It was a
probably
little
could have.
rough without Murray there.
It was very rough without him, man.
You know, Jokic was trying to play point guard. It was clunky.
Tomorrow's the
was
takeover,
pumping.
man. Tomorrow's
Oh,
the
yeah.
takeover, and it's the beginning of 5 straight home games. It's a really good chance for the Nuggets to get their footing, to turn the season around. And again, my advice to all Nuggets fans, you don't have to listen to it if you don't want to. We used to enjoy building this team. Before the mountaintop, building it. The truth is, every year, every team has to build it. Some teams are off to a hot start. The Cavs, the Celtics, the Thunder. They're not having to build right now. They're kind of already further along. Denver's building, and if you look at it like that, you're going to be much more interested in how the season unfolds. Doesn't mean it's going to unfold perfectly, but at least it's the story that is correct, so it gives you the right lens to watch it through. Tonight, an interesting game. Hope Murray is okay and able to come bounce back tomorrow, but if not, it should be an interesting one for us to watch live and in person on the Takeover. Can't wait to see you guys all there. Hit that like button. Go subscribe for us. Retweet the show downstairs. We have to get 200
100,000.
more, so you got to go down there. I don't want to be here all night, so go help us subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for hanging.
Let me go home.
We all silly like the mayor.